This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
I'll be your MC for tonight, and kind of like in years past, all our award winners came in front of the podium and was on the floor. This year we're switching it around. We're going from south to north. We ask you to please come up, watch the stairs, right Donnie? No one going down, and we'll do the presentation up here. Later in the program, we'll have places where you can make a few remarks after accepting your award, and we'll go from there, exit, and out to the photo. All right, tonight we begin with the night of the NCA Country Inn and Suite Scholarship winners, celebrating and recognizing the academic, athletic, and service of student athletes across Nebraska. To help with the presentation, please welcome the General Manager at Country Inn and Suites at Lincoln North, Christina Hall. Christina? In addition to providing the entire funding for the scholarship program, Country Inn and Suites of Lincoln North is the official host hotel of the NCA Multi-Sports Clinic. Tonight, 4 of the 8 scholarship winners are in attendance this evening. An excerpt from each one of the student athletes' impressive scholarship applications are listed within your banquet program. And we will begin. As your name is called, please come to the stage and stay on the stage. From District 1, Ryan Arnold of Diller Odell High School. Ryan participated in football, basketball, and track and field. His future plans are go to Peru State College and major in biology or biochemistry. Next up from District 1, Nia Chambers of Norris High School. Nia participated in volleyball, basketball, track and field, and soccer. Her future plans to go to Nebraska Wesleyan University and major in biology. For District 2, from Omaha North High School, Alyssa Burke. Alyssa participated in cross-country, track and field. Her future plans to go to nursing at College of St. Mary's and specialize in pediatric hospice. And from District 5, Mary Nibby. Mary participated in volleyball, basketball, track and field. The future plans, go to Concordia University and major in biology. Biology must be the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our scholarship award winners. And thank you to Country Inn and Suites for your sponsorship of this great event. Thank you. Now, students and parents, congratulations. This is like always read at this banquet. If you wish to stay for the remaining awesome part of the program as well, a lot more awards to come. You're welcome, but there's no way it is expected. Group photo is requested, and as you are, you're doing a great job following instructions. And for all the rest of you award winners, that's how it's going to go for the rest of the night. So follow suit. Now, it's time for the state championship coaches and Nebraska Coach Association Huddle Coach of the Year winners. Each year, the Nebraska Coach Association recognizes previous year's state championship coaches. Fundraising University is the Nebraska Coach Association presenting partner of the State Championship Coach Award. With us tonight to present the State Championship Awards are fundraising representatives Steve Shannon, Colin Shockey, and Bobby Denenauer, along with Tyler Cotton. Let's give them a round of applause. During this time, we will also present the NCA Coaches of the Year. Huddle is the presenting partner of the Coach of the Year Award. Here tonight, representing Huddle, is Brent Kramer. Coaches that captured a state championship this year are receiving a plaque courtesy of Fundraising University. The Coach of the Year winners are being presented with a plaque from Huddle and a personalized ring thanks to Belfort. And presenting the rings from Balfour is Kim Hawley. And the league coaches that capture a NSA state championship are automatically nominated for the Coach of the Year, along with other nominations from NCA members. State championship coaches, after you've been presented your award, you may return to your seat. If you are a Coach of the Year recipient, you're asked to go to the South Lobby to meet for a group photo. But also, within your sport, we're asking you, when you get your award within your sport, stay up here. All the boys basketball coaches, we'll have a group, everybody can see them, then when they move off, then we'll go women's basketball or that, okay? All right. First up, it's 2019 Class A Baseball State Champion Coach Steve Frey from Millard West was unable to attend this evening. In attendance, the 2019 Class B Baseball State Champion Coach and Coach of the Year, Scott Hazy of Bennington. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, stop. Just call me a tour director. All right. 2019 Boys Basketball State Champion Coaches in attendance. In Class B from Lincoln Pius X, Brian Spichka. From Class D1, from Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family, Joe Hesse. And from Class A, from Omaha South, Bruce Chubbuck Sr. And the state champion in Class A and the NCA Huddle Coach of the Year for boys basketball from Omaha South, Bruce Chubbuck Sr. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Coach. Now for the 2019 Girls Basketball State Champion Coaches in attendance. In Class D1 from Archbishop Bergen, Nate Pribnow. And from Class D2, why not, Steve Weiser. The 2019 Girls Basketball Coach of the Year from Why Not, Steve Weisler. Thank you, guys. 2019 Boys Cross Country State Champion Coaches in attendance, representing Class C and Sydney, Donna Wiedeberg. In Class A from Fremont, Sean McMahon. The 2019 Boys Cross Country NCAA Huddle Coach of the Year is Sean McMahon from Fremont. Congratulations, guys. Yep. And now the 2019 Girls Cross Country State Champion Coaches in attendance. In Class B from Lincoln Pius X, George O'Boyle. In Class C from Holdridge, Stephanie Fjord. In Class D from Ainsworth, Jared Hansmeyer. And from Lincoln East in Class A, Brian Kaborik. The 2019 Girls Cross Country NCA Huddle Coach of the Year is Brian Kaborik of Lincoln East High School.
Thanks, George. Go ahead and move this way. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Good job, Brian.
And now the 2019 state champion football coaches in attendance. In Class A from Omaha Burke, Paul Lamonji. In Class C1 from Aurora, Kyle Peterson. In Class C2 from Centennial, Evan Konetsky. In Class D1 from Creighton, Zach Clement. The 2019 Nebraska Coach Association Huddle Coach of the Year for football from Grand Island, Jeff Tomlin. Thank you, gentlemen. State champion boys and girls golf coaches for the 2018-2019 season in attendance. Class A girls from Lincoln Southwest, Jim Danson. Class A boys from Creighton Prep, Matt Rezgashek. Class D boys from West Holt, Ton Hill. Don't be shy on deck. You can get closer to the award table. Come on down. Come on down. Class B boys for North Platte, Jim Orcutt. The 2019 Nebraska Coach Association Huddle Coach of the Year for golf and the Class B Boys State Champion Coach Jim Orcutt of North Platte. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We have one 2019 state champion soccer coach with us this evening. On the girls' side, from Elkhorn South in Class B, Lindsay Aliano. The 2019 NCA Huddle Soccer Coach of the Year from Crete,
Thank you.
Derek Spence. Thank you very much. Soccer coaches. For the sport of softball, we have two coaches that captured a state championship last fall in attendance. Make that three. Class A from Lincoln Southwest, Mark Watt. In Class B from Elkhorn, Alan Schutte. Class C from Wayne, Rob Sweetland. The 2019 Nebraska Coach Association Huddle Softball Coach of the Year is Rob Sweetland from Wayne. Congratulations, gentlemen. We have one state champion coach for the sport of swimming and diving in attendance tonight, and she is also the 2019 Swimming Coach of the Year. From Lincoln Southwest, Leanne Federwitt. The 2019 Tennis State Championship coaches attending this evening include, from Lincoln Pies the 10th, from Class B Boys, Nolan DeWispelaire. And Class A Girls from Lincoln Southeast, Chris Salem. The 2019 Tennis Coach of the Year, from Lincoln Southeast, Chris Salem. For boys track and field, we have one state champion coach in attendance, and he is also the 2019 Boys Track and Field Coach of the Year. In Class A from Fremont, Dave Sellen. On the girls' side, we have two coaches that captured 2019 Girls Track and Field State Championships in attendance. In Class B from Syracuse, Rick Northhughes. And in Class C from Lincoln Lutheran, Sue Ziegler. The 2019 Girls Track and Field Coach of the Year goes to Lincoln Lutheran, Sue Ziegler.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
3 volleyball state champion coaches are able to be here this evening. In Class C2 from Blue Hill, Christy Allen. In Class D1 from Archbishop Bergen, Sue Weewell. And in Class D2 from Brooding Davenport Shickley, Carrie Jo Alfs. Christy and Sue will be coaching in the NCA All-Star Volleyball match on Tuesday, along with fellow state champ coach Lindsey Peterson of Miller North. Let's give them a round of applause for that, huh? All right. A 2-time coach in the All-Star Volleyball match who guided his team to a 3rd-place state finish last year, the 2019 NCA Huddle Volleyball Coach of the Year. From St. Paul High School, Matt Kane Fairbanks.
All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Jeez,
In the sport of wrestling, 2019 state champion coaches attending this evening include the Class B team champion from Northwest, Brian Seabrantz. And team and dual champion, Class D from Plainview, Dean Boyer. And congratulations to the 2019 Nebraska Coach Association Huddle Wrestling Coach of the Year. From High Plains High School, Norm Manstedt. Let's give all our panel up here a big round of applause. I'll dress up our coaches championship awards and also Coach of the Year awards. We turn the page in your program. For the third year, we are presenting the NCA Varsity Cheerleading and Dance Coaches of the Year. We ask that Liz Heitreck, representing Varsity, step forward to the stage area. Hi, Liz.
Hello.
Here we go. For the Cheerleading and Dance Coaches of the Year Award, coaches were nominated by either student athletes, fellow coaches, or by their school administrators. Varsity representatives and the NCA evaluated the nominations based upon the coaches' leadership within their sport, references, and service to student athletes, school, and community. The fourth recipient of the Nebraska Coach Association Varsity Coach of the Year in cheerleading is Carrie Nesbitt of Sidney High School. One of Carrie's student athletes wrote in her nomination, "Our coach deserves the honor. She is a first-year assistant coach who had to step up to head coach position when other coaches' daughters needed her at home. Carrie accepted the challenge, stepping up to head coach. Since the season began, she has helped us to build a great team. Coach Nesbitt pushes us to always work harder, be sharper, and above all, have fun." Ladies and gentlemen, Carrie Nesbitt.
Go ahead and stay right here. That's the picture.
The 2019 NCA Varsity Dance Coach of the Year is Angie Hogue of Conestoga High School. The following was submitted within Angie's nominations from her student athletes. Angie has dedicated herself to coaching the Conestoga dance team for over a decade. Not only does she embody excellent coaching character, but she also is an amazing role model. When she is not coaching dance, she volunteers her time at a local dance studio to help build skills for the next generation of dancers. She is a truly talented dancer who loves to share her vision, talent, and energetic personality with aspiring young dancers. I can't say enough how blessed we are to have her as our coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Dance Coach of the Year, Angie Hogue. Let's give them both a big round of applause. Thanks, Liz. All right, we're at the point in the program, following the tradition. We have reached the point where we'll recognize who is recognized and may share a few comments, brief, they have wrote down here, right, Darren? Brief comments. Or may thank specific individuals. We have an additional microphone. We do not have one this year. You'll come right here to the podium and make your comments from this location. You'll be presented your award, and if you receive multiple awards this evening, we ask you to take one of those moments in time to make your brief comments. Our next award in the program is the Nebraska Coach Association Jerry Stein Family Milestone Level 4 Awards presented by Baden Sports. The Level 4 plaque is presented to coaches that have coached 400 wins in team sports, 200 in football, and have accumulated 800 points in individual sports. Coaches that have reached levels 1, 2, or 3 will receive a certificate at the Multi-Sports Clinic this week. The program application and screening process is handled entirely by Nebraska Coach Association past president Jerry Stein. Jerry has been inducted into the National and State High School Hall of Fame for his coaching achievements and service to high school athletics. We ask that Jerry please come forward to the stage and help present the Level 4 awards, that you all join the NCA in thanking Coach Stein for his continued service. We recognize coaches that have reached the pinnacle of the NCA Awards program. These coaches join a very select group of coaches in Nebraska to be honored. 4 of the 8 Level 4 recipients are in attendance. And when you all come up here, we ask you to please all stay up here, all 4 of you. We begin from Plainview, Dean Boyer. Don't forget the on-deck location, folks. Dean Boyer Wrestling, his Plainview Pirates captured both state wrestling titles this past year. He'll be honored with the Guy Mitty Career Wrestling Award later this evening. Our next recipient from Aurora in basketball, Tom Leininger. Tom has built the Aurora boys basketball program into a perennial power in Class B. His teams have qualified for the state tournament 5 of the last 7 years. From High Plains in wrestling, Norm Manstedt. Norm is a 50-year veteran coach and considered a pioneer of the wrestling community. After this evening, he will have received each career award possible from the NCA. That's a big round of applause right there. And Mimi Ramsbonnen of Elkhorn South Girls Golf, a past NCA board of director that continues to serve the NCA as a golf sport host at Clinic. Her girls golf program at Elkhorn South is an annual force. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our 4 recipients and Mr. Stein a big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good job. Any more photos?
That's right. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Ready? Okay.
Next up in our program, it's the Jim Farron Memorial Award, formerly known as the NCA Junior High Assistant Coach of the Year Award. This award recognizes the unsung heroes of successful high school and junior high athletic programs. These coaches work in relative obscurity in the respective school systems or sports, but contribute a great deal to the overall success of high school and junior high school athletics. Here tonight to help present the award is the wife of the late coach Jim Farron, Leanne. Let's give Leanne a warm welcome to the stage. Our first recipient is Beth McMahon of Fremont. Beth has served student athletes in 22 years of coaching. Fremont Athletic Director Scott Anderson wrote, "During my 12 years as an athletic administrator in the state of Nebraska, I've been fortunate to work with many great assistant coaches. I can easily say that Beth is the hardest working and most knowledgeable assistant coach out of any of them." The head boys cross-country coach at Fremont wrote, "The main reason I have been able to continue a successful cross-country program is because I work side by side with the best." By the way, that comes from the head coach, her husband, Sean McMahon. He's a smart man. With 6 state championships and another 7 state runner-up finishes, Coach Beth McMahon is no longer in the shadows of this success. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth McMahon of Fremont. Our next recipient, Tiffany Panning of Crofton, is our second Jim Farron Memorial Award recipient. Tiffany has served as coach for 17 years. She is the only assistant that has worked with head coach Aaron Losing during his entire tenure with the Crofton Lady Warriors. During this 15 years, Crofton has earned trips to the state tournament 13 times, capturing 8 state titles, 2 state runner-up finishes, and 5 third 2 additional times. Tiffany has given birth to 4 children. Her coaching tenure at Crofton, Coach Aaron Losing wrote, "Her talent at juggling a busy coaching schedule with her family commitments has been amazing to me. She had her 4th child this winter during the month of February. Her commitment to our basketball girls was amazing, as she only missed 5 days of practice and games." Wow. I actually had to tell her to stay home and miss a couple more practices, or she may have been back with us sooner. She is a fixture for the female athletes in our program. Ladies and gentlemen, from Crofton, Coach Tiffany Panning. Did you guys want to make any comments? No? Okay. You want me to ask everyone if they want to make a comment? Okay. All right. Next up, it's the NCA Media Award. Each year, the Nebraska Coach Association Board of Directors select deserving media for recognition based on nominations from coaches and athletic directors. Without the media, athletes and programs would not receive the recognition they deserve. On behalf of the coaches from across the state, we wish to recognize the following media representatives for promoting high school sports throughout their prestigious career. This year, we honor the careers of two gentlemen from Lincoln. Ken Hamilton of Lincoln Journal-Star and his friend, the late Darrell Blue. We ask that Ken and Darrell's family please step forward to the stage at this time. Members of Darrell's family, sure, come on up. That'd be great. As they make their way to the stage, I'm going to read something about Ken here first. Ken Hamilton's service to high school sports through the Lincoln Journal-Star has spanned decades. According to Ron Powell of the Journal-Star, Ken was the first journalist in Nebraska and perhaps the first in the country in the late 1970s to create high school team ratings for girls volleyball and girls basketball. He later moved to cover boys prep athletics in the 1980s while also covering the Husker beat. Ron Powell credits Ken for teaching him on how to cover high school sports. Ken was, and still is, known for his unique style of developing relationships with both high school coaches and athletes. We honor Ken Hamilton with the NCA Career Media Award. Let's give him a round of applause. Next, we honor the career and service of the late Darrell Blue. We are honored to allow Ken to give us insight to why Darrell was so unique and special in covering Nebraska high school sports. We are honored that many of Darrell's family have joined us this evening for this presentation. But ladies and gentlemen, Darrell Blue and Mr. Ken Hamilton.
This is so fortunate that you get to see part of Darrell's family, which is quite extended. Darrell and I worked together quite a bit. He was a teacher at Lincoln Northeast, taught journalism, produced a number of college professors in journalism, worked for the Omaha World Herald, later for the Journal-Star with us, and we traveled a lot together. We learned how to stand near the burning oil bins at midfield at East Butler during the playoffs, and trying to figure out, well, that looks like the 7-yard line down there. It must have been a 6-yard run to the 1-yard line. We covered a lot of basketball together. We covered, you name it, together. It was a joy to work. It was a joy to have the job and a joy to work with Darrell. You coaches made it easy. You made it worthwhile. And actually, I feel like somewhat of a kind of a thief in that without the coaches who cooperated and the coaches who helped and the coaches who taught players how to speak, we couldn't have done our job. So I want to thank you for that. I just wanted to add one other thing. People ask why I retired, and Riley Jane, who won this award in 1988, or 1998, it only took me 21 years to catch up. But the reason I retired was because of illness and fatigue. The editors at the Journal-Star were sick and tired of me. So I want to thank you so much, and please keep Darrell in your memories because he was a great one. Thank you.
It's my honor to present a special award that the Nebraska Coaches Association annually likes to honor coaches from coaches for what people do special for high school athletics across the state. Tonight we honor two gentlemen that have left meaningful and positive marks on high school sports in the state. I ask that Ben Eichhoff from Thedford and Mike Harvey of Arnold please come forward to be recognized. Personally, I only get to see these two gentlemen twice a year, but what an honor it is to work with them. Each time, like clockwork, they come to Lincoln. They are mainstays of the state tournament sportsmanship awards in the evaluation process for both volleyball and girls basketball annually. Annually, they make that trek to Lincoln to evaluate sportsmanship for both tournaments, but I'd like to share with you what makes that so special about them, not just because they do it every year and for both tournaments, which is special in itself. Number one, that means a round trip here to Lincoln, all the way from the Sandhills, for both volleyball and girls basketball. Each time, that means 3 days and 2 nights in hotel rooms out of their own pocket. They watch and evaluate players, coaches, students, and fans for each and every game. That means 8 games that they are very intently watching many, many things. They are very passionate about sportsmanship and what class looks like both on and off the court. They are extremely thorough, unbiased, and will help me in any way possible in administrating the program. As students and schools began to use the themes like USA and red, white, and blue, they helped put an emphasis on what was smart and what was acceptable about flag etiquette and what we need to do in honoring those that serve and have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. On behalf of the Nebraska Coaches Association, it's my honor to recognize Ben Eichhoff and Mike Harvey with the NCA Friends of High School Sports Award. Thank you for your servant leadership. Thank you, thank you.
Time now for the Nebraska Coach Association Arise Service Awards. It's designed to recognize and honor coaches who have achieved 25, 35, 40, 45, and 50 years of coaching service. We welcome longtime basketball coach Kurt Carlson, and now an Arise owner and brand ambassador. He is joined by his daughter Shelley McClintock, an Arise owner and vice president of partnerships, and his granddaughter Alyssa McClintock, Arise marketing manager. Let's welcome them to the stage. We will begin with the coaches that have served the coaching profession 25 years and work our way to those that have served 50 years. And for those receiving a service award, you are asked that as I begin to read your information, that you please come forward. And remember, you can make a brief comment or two. 25 years of service. Brian Kaborik. Coach Kaborik has been coaching track and field athletes his entire career and also spent 23 years coaching cross country. He has collected 2 state runner-up finishes as head girls cross country coach and earned his first state title this past season. Brian has also guided his girls track and field athletes to several state event titles and all-class gold medals. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Coach Kaborik. He said thank you. We move to 35 years of service. First up, Ken Atkinson. Coach Atkinson has been coaching track and field athletes at Waverly High School his entire career, while also coaching cross country from 1985 to 2014. He has earned 13 district titles, 14 conference championships, 1 state runner-up finish, and 1 state track and field team title. and has led 24 athletes to individual state championships. Ken was the 2016 Girls Track and Field Coach of the Year and was the 2017 National Coach of the Year finalist in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Atkinson. He says thank you. Thanks. Next up, for 35 years of service, Mark Anderson. Head boys track and field coach at Randolph since 1981. Coach Anderson also spent 24 years coaching football and has been head boys basketball coach since 2006. He earned one state runner-up finish in football and one state boys basketball state championship, and is especially proud to have coached all 4 of his sons in either football, basketball, and track and field. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Anderson.
Thank you.
Good job, Mark. Next up, Jerry Buck, a 10-year veteran on the NCA Board of Directors and past president. Coach Buck values the relationships he has been able to cultivate with student athletes, coaches, and opponents during his 35 years coaching football, basketball, and track and field. His career highlights also include a selection to coach in the NCA All-Star basketball game and coaching his son, Tyler. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jerry Buck.
First, I just want to thank Darren and the Coaches Association for this award. Thank you to the Board of Directors. You're like a second family to me. My wife, Kelly, has been there to keep me in line for many years, thank goodness. Thank the good Lord above for his grace and mercy, or I would not be here today. And I want you to know that all of you have the greatest job in the world because they call you Coach. Thank you.
Next, Dan Davenport. Having coached wrestling during his entire career, Dan also spent 14 years coaching football. He has recorded 263 dual wins in wrestling, has led 4 wrestlers to individual state championships. Coach Davenport has enjoyed helping his student athletes reach their goals and is proud to have coached his son at the state wrestling tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Davenport. Next at 35, Jim Hansen. A 2014 recipient of the NCA Jim Farron Assistant Coach of the Year and 2019 National Assistant Coach of the Year finalist. Coach Hansen has served as assistant football coach his entire career and also spent 20 years coaching baseball. He was on staff during 4 state football championship seasons and is thankful to have had the opportunity to coach his 3 sons. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Hansen.
Not that I was going to do this, but open mic, I guess so. Hey, I just want to say one quick thing, and I was thinking of it as this program was going on. We have such tremendous coaches in here. If possible, all of you, pick a young coach out that is in your school or district somewhere and encourage them. I have a son-in-law that is just starting to coach, and we need more great young coaches in our profession. And we're a lot of old guys up here now, and we need more great young coaches. So if you could, as a coach, find someone, mentor, encourage them. Let's keep this going strong. We've got a great program. Let's keep it going. Thank you.
Next up at 35 years, Mike Johnson. Coach Johnson has been coaching football and track and field athletes for 39 years and also spent 15 seasons coaching basketball. He amassed a 211 and 110 record as head football coach and was selected to coach in the Shrine Bowls of Kansas in 1993 and Nebraska in 2005 and 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Johnson. Tom Pallas. Tom has spent 35 seasons coaching volleyball and has earned 424 wins during his career. He has greatly enjoyed building meaningful relationships with his student athletes and watching them develop and grow throughout their volleyball careers. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Pallas. Dominic Reichs. Coach Reichs has served as wrestling coach at Ravenna for his entire 35-year career. While also coaching football for 6, he has guided 41 individual state wrestling placers and 5 state champions, and earned 7 top 10 wrestling finishes with a second place finish in 2007. Dominic also has been serving as athletic director at Ravenna since 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, Dominic Reichs.
Thank you. Rick said, get up here and say something, so I'm doing what he's telling me to. First off, thanks to the NCA, Sandy, the board of directors and everything for the great program that's getting put on here. I'd also like to thank my family for showing up here. I didn't spend much time with my 3 daughters when they were going through all their athletics. I've already spent more time with my grandkids watching them. And I apologize for that, but I think they understood. Wrestling coach doesn't go to girls' events very often. Thank you.
Next recipient, 35 years, Jody Rhodes. This year's recipient of the NCA Phyllis Rice Honor Award for contributions to the sport of volleyball in Nebraska, Coach Rhodes has had much success in his career coaching both volleyball and basketball, reaching level 4 milestone status and wins in both sports. For Jody, his greatest joy was the opportunity to coach both of his children, Brian and Erica. Ladies and gentlemen, Jody Rhodes.
You know, 35 years is an awfully long time to be doing the same thing unless you really enjoy it. And I've really enjoyed it over the 35 years. Because the kids that I've coached in all the sports have made it enjoyable. So I'd like to thank the kids that I've coached. And also, this is the 35th year of marital bliss to my wife, Lisa. So that's kind of why I'm up here talking. So thank you, Lisa, and thank you guys.
And our final 35-year award recipient, Diane Rose. Proud to have coached at Northwest High School for her entire career, Diane has been a fixture on the volleyball court, earning 768 wins and never having a losing season. She has earned countless coaching honors during her illustrious career, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame at UNK and Kearney High School, and was a 2018 selection into the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. But her greatest moments have been while coaching her 3 kids with her husband, Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Diane Rose.
First of all, where are the women up here? I feel like I'm the only woman up here, and I think I am. I think it's because it's hard. I like to tell all of the women that are coaching, hang in there because it can be done, but you have to have an awesome husband, which I do. You have to have some help, and you can raise kids, but they're going to have to spend some time in the gym with you. So I appreciate Nebraska Coaches Association. I've been involved with you. You're such wonderful people, and we couldn't do this without a lot of help. So thank you for the awards. Thank you for all the recognition. But bottom line, it's all about the kids, and I'm just glad I had the chance to do it all at Northwest for a long time. Appreciate the honor. Thank you very much.
One more time for our 35 award winners here, folks.
Thank you, guys.
Now time to honor 40 years of service. First up, Al Blankenship. A former Nebraska Coach Association board member and past president, Coach Blank has been over 40 years mentoring student athletes in both football and track and field, and has helped lead teams to numerous conference and district championships. He has had the pleasure of watching several of his track and field athletes earn all-class gold medals at the state meet and counts as a career highlight coaching and watching his son, Nate, on the football field. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Blankenship. Larry Schreiber. Currently serving as athletic director at Nebraska Christian since 2003. Larry also coached football, boys and girls basketball, and track and field during his career. He has coached several individual state champions in track and field, helped his football teams reach the state semifinals 2 times, and is proud that his school has been awarded the Conference Sportsmanship Award for girls and boys basketball for several years. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Schreiber.
It's been 40 years of an opportunity to be with some tremendous coaches and players, and what a tremendous opportunity for me to be able to do that for this 40-year period. I also want to thank my wife, who is, as all of you know as coaches, you have to have that person behind you that supports you all the time. And she's done a tremendous job, and I love her very much. And I also want to say what a blessing it is from the Lord Jesus Christ to be able to do this. Thank you.
Next up, at 40 years of service, Ron Wergen. Coach Wergen has been head boys track and field coach at Palmyra High School for his entire 40-year career. By also spending 11 years as head girls basketball coach and 35 years as the Panthers head football coach. He has watched 31 of his track and field student athletes earn state medals, and in 2008, Ron served as assistant coach in the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Ron Wergen.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the Nebraska Coaches Association for this award. You know, I'm touched and I'm honored. I also want to thank my family who's here in attendance, my wife Tammy, my son Drew, my daughter Ashley, and my son-in-law Jeff. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, 40 years of service. Let's give them a round of applause. Now we go to 45 years of service. First up, Kenneth Myers. Ken has worn several coaching hats during his career, including track and field, cross country, boys and girls basketball, football, and wrestling. He has coached track and field for his entire 48-year career, earning 10 conference championships and 9 district titles and 1 state runner-up finish. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Myers.
We've heard a lot about sacrifices, and I finally decided this year was my last year because I'm going to spend time with my grandkids.
And joining Coach Myers at 45 years of service, please welcome Steve Nelson. Coach Nelson has been coaching track and field at Alliance Public Schools for 45 years, serving as head coach from 1978 to 1999, and as a volunteer coach since his retirement in 2003. He captured several conference and district titles during his tenure as head coach, and also serving as an assistant football coach 28 years. Thrilled to still be active in coaching, Steve's career highlight was coaching his son Chris from 1990 to 1993. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Steve Nelson.
See, when you get this far, isn't it fun that after 25, 35, 40, 45, in 5 more years we get to stand with those guys over there? And we have legally got to mess with people's minds all this time, all these little kids, you know. Thank you to the Coaches Association. My wife Patty, who's sitting right over there. We have an extended family,
sitting right back there, the Tomlin group, and you saw Jeff be chosen as the football coach of the year.
Believe it or not, when he stands up, stand up, Jeff. He was one of my best sprinters way back in high school. And he could really smoke it. Now I think he would be one of my best shot putters. It's been fun, and Patty keeps asking me, when are you going to quit doing this? And it's not any fun anymore. Geez, I don't know when that's going to be. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken and Steve, 45 years of service. Jeffrey. And now, 50 years of service. We begin with Coach Norm Manstedt. Coach Manstedt was the 1996 recipient of the NCA Guy Mitty Award for his impact on the sports of wrestling in Nebraska. And his impact certainly did not stop then. He had coached over 200 state qualifiers, over 50 state finalists, and 34 state champions. 6 of his wrestlers have been inducted into the National Scholastic Wrestling Coaches Association Hall of Fame, as was Norm in 1986. Norm counts among his greatest memories coaching both of his sons in the state finals and coaching against his oldest son several times. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Norm Manstedt.
Thank you very much. It is a true honor to be here. I want to thank the Coaches Association, all of the coaches out there that I know and remember, a lot of the athletes that I got to coach against. I want to thank my coaching staff who's here tonight. High Plains Wrestling is going to be in good hands for a long time. I'm still going to stay behind the scenes. You won't see me in the chair, but I'll be in the microphone. Thank you all very much. This is greatly appreciated, and I am extremely blessed. Thank you.
Next up, 50 years of service, Coach Dave Ullman. Coach Ullman is another former NCA board member and past president, being honored for his service. Dave has coached basketball for his entire 50-year career and has amassed over 580 wins. He led 3 teams to state boys basketball championships at Norfolk in 1987 and twice at Grand Island in 1999 and 2002. The 2006 recipient of the NCA Ed Johnson Award for contributions to the sport of boys basketball in Nebraska. Dave's greatest coaching moments include serving as NCA All-Star Boys Basketball coach twice and coaching his son Ben for 4 years in high school. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Dave Ullman.
First of all, I got a wife that's been real supportive back there, Maureen. A couple of my daughters are here, Heather and Holly. My brother's been following me around for 50 years, and his wife, Mary, Bob's over there. You know, I think to coach for 50 years is about, you got to have, first of all, you got to have some good administrators someplace along the way. You got to have some good assistant coaches. You got to have some good athletes. You got to have some good luck, and you got to have some support. You know, that state championship we won in Norfolk, we won 3 games by a total of 4 points, so I think we were kind of lucky. That first one at Grand Island, we were 8 seed, and so I think we were kind of lucky there. You know, I've had some great players over the years. Those of you who watched the Super Bowl a few years ago, Clete Blakeman, the white hat there, you know, he played for me in Norfolk. If you guys watch college basketball, Dana Altman, it's at Oregon, used to be at Creighton. You know, I set his career back 20 years, but he's done a great job of overcoming. I've just had a lot of great athletes. Brian Hoffman, that played at Doane College, he was the all-time leading scorer in all of Nebraska colleges till Doug McDermott beat him. And like I said, I've just had a lot of outstanding players, and have been real lucky. So I'd like to thank the Coaches Association. And the other thing is there's been some great coaches. You know, I think the coaches' unity is really good, and we get along well. try to beat each other on Friday night, but we might call Saturday and you send me a film. And I think coaches are great about that all over the state. So I'd like to again thank the Coaches Association. Thank you. Oh, and the only thing I wanted to mention, Ben Reese is here on the board. He was a 3-year All-Stater for me, so he's been a pretty good athlete too. So thank you very much.
And our final 50-year recipient, Larry Vancura. Larry has coached track and field for his entire 50-year career and will again lead the runners at Heartland for the 2019-2020 school year. Coach Vancura has also spent over 40 years coaching football and has celebrated 9 state championships of runner-ups as head or assistant coach in track and field and football. He feels especially fortunate to watch all 3 of his sons do well in the sports of football, basketball, and track and field. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Larry Vancura.
Before I came up here earlier this evening, my youngest son's in attendance. He said, you know, Dad, if you're going to keep coaching, they're going to have to put another row on the program. And I said, I don't think so. I think the last one is 50 years plus, so that'll be it probably. I do plan on probably coaching another year and preparing one of my assistants who will be a great coach. Anyone that's been starting in education, sometimes the coaching job comes with it. And I didn't plan on coaching, and I started out as a math teacher, and along with that came assistant football coach and head track coach. So I've been coaching now for 50 years. And being involved in coaching for 50 years and having a good amount of success, there's a few people that I like to thank. Number one is my wife. Let's stand. She deserves a lot of credit. She was around and raised our sons when I wasn't around. I had 3 great sons, and I'd like to thank them too. They were all great athletes in high school. And my youngest son, who's in attendance, he teaches at the middle school in Seward, and he's a junior high football and basketball coach. I'd also like to thank all the administrators that I've been associated with. I had great administrators at Henderson and Heartland Community Schools, and that's probably one thing that's unusual. I've been at the same school, the same building for 50 years. So I'm probably one of the few coaches in Nebraska that has accomplished that. I'd like to thank all my assistant and head coaches that I've worked with over the years. They've been special, especially too when I was athletic director for 27 years. Last but not least, I'd like to thank all the athletes that I've had over the years. I've had a lot of special athletes, and one thing that I've always tried to do is make every athlete feel important. Several years ago, I had a girl on the track team who was at 4 years and never received a medal in a track meet. So at our awards night her senior year, I presented her with a large medal, and I know she was appreciative of that. And then you talk about all the quality of your athletes. 2 years ago, I had a female athlete score 38 individual points in Class C at the state track meet. So I try to treat all the athletes the same and recognize them the same way. At this time, finally, I'd like to challenge every coach to coach 50 years. It's been a really rewarding, challenging, and a great experience for me. Thank you.
Congratulations, 50-year award winners. Congratulations. Don't forget your picture out in the foyer, Mr. Ullman. Good job. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award presentation is the Nebraska Coach Association Fellowship of Christian Athletes Doyle Denny Heart of a Coach Award. Here to introduce our 2019 recipient is always entertaining Ron Gustafson.
Well, thank you. Can I just introduce Melanie Vermas, Doyle Denny's widow, and I just wanted to introduce her. She's such a sweet lady, and I wanted to just thank you for being here and being part of this evening with us. The winner of this award is Coach Joel Heiser. Mr. Joel Heiser and I met the first time in June of 1983 at the UNL Husker basketball camp. Our first meeting was not friendly in any stretch of the imagination. We competed in the week-long one-on-one tournament and met in the semifinals. Joel was a great player. He was tall, fleet-footed, could handle the ball, and could light it up from outside. After that match, we shook hands. He looked me in the eye, and he said, "Great game." I knew he was special. I didn't understand how really special he was until 1986, when my basketball dreams came to an end at Kearney State College, and I dug myself into a hole with alcohol, not going to class, and doing things my mom and dad would not have approved of. Joel was always the same guy. It didn't matter where he was in the formula of my life, he was the same. Whether he and I were competing against one another, with one another, or for one another, he was always the same, and more importantly, he was always there. Why do I think Joel is being honored with the Doyle Denny Coaching Award? Simply because he was there. Many of you know where there is, but some of you may not know where there is. There is a place where the person or team you are on at any given time is. There is the excitement of tip-off. Joel was there. There is after a big win. Joel was there. There is after a disappointing loss. Joel was there. There is when mom and dad are fighting at home and I'm a player on Joel's team. Joel was there. When there is trauma and you have no identity outside of the game of basketball, Joel was there. There is where God is at work. Joel is there. Joel is there because he knows who created him, who he is, and where God is using him. Folks, the demands of coaching on the court, in the locker room, and dealing with parents like me is forever changing and becoming more and more time-consuming, difficult, and challenging. Joel has adjusted through his 31 years of coaching, but he is and will always be there with and for the student athletes, their families, the coaching staff, and most importantly, his creator and king. I asked a handful of people that know Joel the best for one word that describes him. The people I asked of this chore know him in real life. They have seen him under stress, joy, ups, downs, and everything else. They know him best, and this is how they responded. One of his assistant coaches, Coach Jim Simpson, said he was genuine. Another assistant coach, Joseph Cooley, said he was consistent. His mom and dad, Coach Jerry and Jean Heiser, said he was faithful. His wife, beautiful wife Lisa, said he was her big sexy. But I had to clarify and make sure she only used one word. And she said steadfast. His oldest son, Cy, said he was considerate. Middle son, Jalen, said he was compassionate. And his youngest son said he was humble. I believe these one-word descriptors are exactly what the Doyle Denny Heart of a Coach Award is looking for in a recipient. Joel, thank you for living a life of a coach and impacting lives through a game that you love. Thank you for being a friend, a mentor, and a warrior in my life, and so many others. You truly represent the heart of a coach that Doyle Denny modeled so well. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gus. That one-on-one game, he beat my butt. I'm just telling you. And that's, he was very kind to me there, tried to make me out to be a better player than what I was, but he beat my butt, and that was the first time we met, and ever since he's been my inspiration. So, Gus, I thank you very much. In regards to coaching, coaching is modeling, and Doyle Denny was a great model for me to follow at McCook High School, one of my first coaching jobs. So I'm very honored, Melanie, to accept this award on his behalf. I definitely have had great models in my life with coaching. My own assistant coaches that you just heard from, I just try to keep up with them. Their hearts are like gold. My family, my friends, in particular, you know, my wife has been a very, very faithful coach's wife. My father has modeled coaching better than anybody I know. Great coach at Kearney State College, but an even better dad and grandfather. And so, you know, with that said, I just leave you with, you know, the ultimate model for me has been my Lord Jesus Christ, the author and the only one who can perfect my faith through his righteousness on the cross. So thank you very much, and FCA, thank you, and NCA for this award.
Time now for the NCA Career Awards. The final awards will be handed out this evening. These men and women are being recognized not only for being successful in the given sport, but they are seen as leaders across the state in the coaching profession. It's the Nebraska Coach Association's honor to recognize each of these individuals this evening. A bio of each coach is included in the program that highlights their incredible careers. We will reserve the time here at the podium for their words rather than reading out their bio information. We begin with the Benny and Dutch Track and Field Award. The Nebraska Coach Association recognizes a 43-year veteran coach, a Level 4 Jerry Stein milestone recipient, and past Nebraska Coach Association Girls Track and Field Coach of the Year. The 2019 Benny and Dutch Award recipient is Gary Skirmans of Norfolk.
Well, I got to thank the NCA for this. When I got the letter, and my wife can attest to this, I opened it up and said, sent to the wrong person. I put it back in, I put it back on the shelf. I came back the next day and said the same thing. And I said, you know, whoever nominated me and our staff, I'm just very humble when I look at the list of track coaches that have received this before. It's just the who's who of track coaches in the state of Nebraska. People that I had great respect for, Applegate, Murph, Lyle Moeller, John Farron, and on and on and on, were people that when I first came here after 11 years in South Dakota, that kind of took me under their wing and showed me the loops and how to get things done. And since then, it's just been keeping things going. We try to do as much as we can in Norfolk to keep track popular and help people out. Dave Ullman was across the hall for me for many years, and he started a track clinic, and now we've kept it going 35 years. I've twisted a lot of arms. Some of those people are in here to speak, but we try to do the best we can to bring track to the forefront and keep it there. But I think the key to the whole thing has been, if you're going to make this a career, you got to surround yourself with good people. And I've been able to do that. I've had great kids, great student athletes that have made it very, very enjoyable. I've had administrators that I think have allowed me to get very good at asking for forgiveness and because I'm not very good at asking for permission many times. I think kind of throw the key at me and they just hope it's going to work out. Once in a while you have to come back and beg. But they've been great. I've got a community that supplies us with great workers. We can run a track meet as good as anybody. And in the area in northeast Nebraska with our classic has proven that. They come out, they support it, it's stayed where it needs to be. And most importantly, I've had a family that has given me a lot of support. You know, with the coach's family, when you need somebody to sell t-shirts, somebody cancels out late, you need somebody to run a field event, you know, who gets stuck doing that. And they've been great. So again, thank you to the association. Thank you for this honor. I'm very, very humbled.
The Nebraska Coach Association Ed Johnson Award for boys basketball is being awarded to Bruce Chubbuck Sr. from Omaha South, a 49-year veteran with 3 different state championships. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Bruce Chubbuck Sr.
I'm really very humbled to get the Ed Johnson Award, thanks to the association. But I gotta just tell a really short story. I think it was like 85, 86, at the state tournament, a good friend of mine, George Schenker, introduced me to Coach Johnson. And I was kind of a young, smart-ass young coach that thought he had all the answers. And so I met Coach Johnson, and George and I sat down and he started telling me about Coach Johnson. Not just about 7 state championships, about 1950 winning the first year at Northeast, winning the state championship right out of the chute, but about the kind of person he was, is what George enlightened me to. And in total honesty, when I got the information that I'd been nominated, I didn't really feel like, I started looking at the names of the recipients in past years, and I really didn't feel like, I guess, you know, worthy. And just a real short thing about, I think about 2010, Al Schnabel received the award posthumously. And I guess this is what, I'm going to share this with you, and I haven't shared this with, I don't think anybody, not even my family. But years before that, I ran in to Al and his son at University of Kansas at a clinic. And Al was sick and had the cancer, and his son pushed him to a basketball clinic in a wheelchair with his riddled body, weak, but yet he was still trying to improve and be a better coach and a better person for his athletes. And it just really hit me. I couldn't believe the dedication and commitment to the sport. And it just stuck with me all these years, is that, you know, I've always thought I've loved the game and everything that came with it, but I reflect back to that. I sometimes I wonder, you know, if I measure up to that kind of dedication and loyalty. But anyway, that was, I never sent the papers back because I didn't really feel like, you know, I was in a class with guys like Al and Coach Baronic and a lot of the other guys that have received this over the years. I want to thank my family. First of all, my son, my assistant coach, who, without that, I wouldn't be up here. He's been rock steady for me for 13 years. He got done playing professionally and come back and has been helping me ever since. The other guy in the red shirt is my right arm. It's Dave Juarez, and I guarantee you that we wouldn't have won a state championship this last year without Coach Dave. In the blue is my wife of 49 years, soon to be 50. It's real easy to remember how many years I've coached because our 50th anniversary is January 20th. So real easy to remember. My daughter-in-law, Wendy, Trey, my grandson, and Mel, my granddaughter. And, you know, coaches, we know that none of that's possible, what we do with our kids, without the support of especially the spouses and the rest of the family, because we do sacrifice a little bit to do what we do. One last thing. I've been really lucky in a lot of ways. I started out at Omaha Tech in 1974 or 5. It kind of all runs together. So I started in the inner city, Montana for a little while, Sand Hills of Atkinson, back to the suburbs to Abraham Lincoln, down to Glenwood, Iowa, and then back to the inner city. And I want to tell you people, kids are kids. It doesn't matter who, where, from the farm, from the city, kids are kids. We all kind of want the same things out of life. And as educators, our job is to give kids opportunity to make a difference in their lives, and hopefully we do that. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Coach. You got to get a nice picture. Hey. The Nebraska Coach Association honors a wrestling coach annually with the Guy Mitty Career Award. This year's recipient has had tremendous success in Northeast Nebraska and beyond. He guided Plainview to state championships this year in the individual and dual tournaments in Class D. The 2019 Guy Mitty Award recipient is Dean Boyer of Plainview.
Thanks to the NCA and the Mitty family. My name is associated with this award, but we won because of our system. My wife does countless things for our program. When my boys went through, that gave our program the shot in the arm that we needed. I have great assistants, administration, parents, and then particularly the kids that sign up to travel all over the country with me and do a lot of grueling things, but our system is why we won. Thank you.
NCA Cross Country Award was added in 2013 to honor both girls and boys cross country coaches across Nebraska. Last year, we began to honor the legacy of Coach George O'Boyle with this award. Coach O'Boyle is in attendance tonight. Please stand and be recognized. The George O'Boyle Nebraska Coach Association Cross Country Award is presented to a 34-year veteran from Malcolm, Bob Hoyer.
I want to thank the Coaches Association and the Board of Directors for this great honor. George O'Boyle stands here. He's a man that I watched when I first became a cross-country coach. I'd never seen a cross-country meet in my life. And I can't get a clinic that he spoke at. He was a great mentor for me. Like many of the gentlemen that already received this award, they are mentors for me to help me become a better coach. Without my wife Nancy, I probably wouldn't be here tonight because somebody had to get it. She did behind me and supported me as my son for my entire coaching career, which is 45 years. You can't get to an honor like this in a without the support of your other coaches that I've had work with me, and parents, my AD, Jack Parr, who's been with us for a number of years. He and I have coached and taught together for his entire career. And it's, without those people, it'd be impossible. But the most important people of all are our student athletes. Those young men and women who we have an opportunity to touch them in a way to help them become better people and grow and become the types of citizens we want in this country. And they are just tremendous. And I could not achieve this without all those people, the parents, and our administration. It is a great honor, and I'm deeply humbled to accept this award and join the lives of George, who is a tremendous man and a great role model. Thank you very much.
The NCA Girls Basketball Award has been awarded to just 14 coaches. Tonight, we honor the legacy of Ken Cook in presenting the second time the Girls Award in his name. The 2019 Ken Cook Girls Basketball Award is presented to a 47-year veteran coach, 29 years as a girls basketball coach, known as the Gator of Northeast Nebraska, Chuck Ross of Wisner-Pilger High School.
Must be kind of short. I used to be 5'10". I'd like to thank the board for this award. It's just a really great honor for me to be up here. I'd like to thank my wife, Jan, 50 years. She's been my guiding light. And my family, been big in my, to help me. So thank everybody, and the ride's been good. Now it's time to get off.
Like cross country, the NCA added the NCA Golf Award in 2013 and recognizes boys and girls golf coaches. Tonight, for the second time, we honor the coaching legacies of Sweet Hawkins and Del Schoenfish with the award in their name. Sweet passed away in December of 2017, but Del is here tonight as an NCA past president. Please, Del, stand and be recognized. The 2019 Sweet Hawkins and Del Schoenfish Award recipient has captured 6 state championships from Minden, Coach Steve Ekstrom.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Coaches Association for these awards. I'd like to thank my wife of 39 years next Friday, Peg, and my youngest son, Matt, who is also called Boo. He's here to help us celebrate. But I really want to thank the NCA for this honor, because I'm the 7th award winner in this category, and the namesakes for this golf award are truly legends in the sport of golf. If you're a boys golf coach, you know of Coach Hawkins' records at Oakland Craig. The other guy, I got to know real well because I coached against him when he was at Cambridge and I was at Bertrand. So this award means a lot to me. And the other people that have won the award, I know most of them personally. I played fast pitch softball against Ron Coleman. Jerry Cover is an alumnus from Minden High School, golf coach in Norfolk. Tom Wisdom's a good friend from Lexington. And so when you take a look at awards like this, you know there's a lot of threads that run through the state of Nebraska. I've got great friends in the coaching community. Ron Kubik, sitting right down here. Taught me everything I knew about football. Loved coaching football with Ron. Jerry Stein, great track coach at Bertrand. These are the people that I enjoyed, competing against and working for and working with. Jody Rhodes kicked our butts at the state tournament. He's from Paxton, and we played Paxton first round state basketball tournament. The game of golf is one of those sports, probably the greatest sport ever invented. And I don't want to demean all the other sports, but what other sport can you still be playing at 92? I have an uncle in Minden, my Uncle Gus, he's 92. Still shoots 47, 48. He's amazing. And that's what keeps him going, is the game of golf. Jerry Heiser, I know you're a great basketball coach, but I see Jerry on the Minden golf course all the time over there. He loves the game of golf. And so the game of golf has given as much to me as maybe, 1,000 times more than I've given it to it. And so I just want to let everyone know how proud I am, how humble I am, that I get to take home the Dell Show and Fish Sweet Hawkins Award. Thank you.
One thing I found about with retired coaches, don't call them from 6 a.m. or 10 a.m. because they're on the golf course, right, Coach Heiser? All right. Nebraska has become known nationwide as a leader in high school volleyball. Tonight's NCA Volleyball Award is being presented in the name of the first female NCA president and volleyball coaching pioneer, Phyllis Rice Honor. The 2019 Phyllis Rice Honor NCA Volleyball Award is being bestowed on a coach that has captured 6 state championships. The 2019 Phyllis Rice Honor Award goes to Jody Rhodes of Paxton.
I'd like to start out this evening by thanking the NCA, the board, for nominating me and selecting me for this award. It's funny how things sometimes work out for the best. When I was hired out at Paxton, my first extra duty assignment was not high school volleyball, it was junior high pep club sponsor for $75 a year. I'm pretty sure the school district did not get their money's worth. I could also see that I was not going to get junior high pep club sponsor coach of the year. So it worked out really well that things moved over to volleyball, for me anyway. I know growing up in the 70s and 80s, back in Exeter, I lived on a farm halfway between Exeter and Centennial, so at that time I became very aware of Phyllis Rice and her accomplishments on and off the court. She was a great coach. And to receive an award in her name is very humbling and truly an honor. Also, like the other winners up here said about when they opened their letter and said that they were selected for these awards, I looked at the past recipients and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. I don't belong on this list. These, I don't know how you'd say it, these are the coaches that their faces should be on the Mount Rushmore of volleyball. And I mean, they're that good. But really, who should be on this plaque are all the players that I've coached over the time. I know I've got one with me tonight. My daughter Erica, she's here, so thank you for coming in tonight, Erica. She alone tallied up 99 wins through her 4 years at Paxton. So I had players like that coming and going all the time. It wasn't the coaching. I just had great players, and I'd like to thank all of those players for everything they did, because this award wouldn't have been possible without those players. So If my wife could remind me when I get home, I'm going to make a list of all the players that I've coached over all the years, and just as a reminder of what's possible through teamwork. And it's not the individual thing, it's the teamwork that's involved. So I'd like to thank the players once again. I'd like to thank my wife for volunteering her time to keep the scorebook all those years unpaid. So you'll have to talk to the athletic director about that. That's out of my hands. So, you know, I'd like to thank my parents and the NCA again, and once again, all of the players. Thank you.
And our final award of the evening recognizes the career of a high school football coach through the Skip Halring Award. This year's honoree has 48 years of coaching in Nebraska and Kansas, an icon of football clinics both near and far. He will guiding the newly formed co-op program Osceola High Plains, the Storm Dogs, this fall. The 2019 Skip Halring Award recipient is Bob Fuller.
Hi, folks. Well, I know that they didn't save the best for last, but they sure saved one of the oldest ones. So I want to thank the Nebraska Coach Association for this award, and I'm certainly humbled and honored to be part of such an elite group, several of whom have been mentors to me over the years. And you know you've been in this profession a long time when you know literally all the previous winners personally, and there's some great ones. I want to recognize some people tonight, and I want to start with a lot of special people in my life, but first I want to start with my wife, Cindy. Cindy, if you'll please stand. I think you can see her back there. The grandkids call her the great shrinking grandma, but she's back there. She's my left and my right arm, and my first assistant. And if not for her, I wouldn't be able to do the job that I do now. She's amazingly organized and great on the computer. And that's a very good thing because guys my age are technically challenged. And, you know, I started by the old typewriter and the old mimeograph machine. So that she is certainly a big help. We all have priorities in our lives, and mine are God, family, and coaching. With that in mind, I would like to thank God for my blessings and have my family and friends please stand back there. Cindy and I have a blended family with 4 sons, one of whom we lost 7 years ago, and 1 daughter. We are a sports family in a lot of areas. And my daughter played volleyball and softball, and if the truth be known, loves football as much or more than her dad. 2 of the boys were state wrestling medalists. 3 of them played high school and college football, 2 of which were all conference and academic All-Americans, and 2 played in the Shrine Bowl. We have daughters-in-laws who played softball, soccer, and basketball, and son-in-laws who played football and baseball as well. We have 8 grandsons, and so far 6 football players. I feel pretty sure the youngest ones, 2 youngest ones, will also play when they get a bit older. And we have 2 granddaughters, of whom I will sure will play because they will be encouraged by their parents. One is already showing great promise playing t-ball. 2 sons, I coached one. Jared owns his own company and is an exceptional outdoor sportsman and travels around the globe. The other 2 I've had the opportunity to coach with. They are each successful in their own right. To put a point on it,
now instead of having people approach my youngest and saying, hey, aren't you Bob Fuller's son? They now approach me and say, hey, aren't you Rusty Fuller's dad? Rusty's older brother, Chad, coached both football, wrestling, and track for 20 years. And some of you know he was injured 2 years ago in a water accident that has placed him in a wheelchair. I just want to say, he has become my hero. He is the strongest, most driven person I've ever known, and certainly a man of faith. Growing up, my role models were my folks. They instilled in me the value of good work ethic, to treat people, everyone, the way you want to be treated. And I've tried to carry on that always in my career and believe in it critical to treat kids the way you'd want your own kids treated. Coaching is not so much about what you know, and I've heard this before many times. It's about the Jimmies and Joes and building relationships with those student athletes. I've been blessed over the years to have been surrounded by some truly very talented student athletes. I've also had some of the most loyal, innovative assistant coaches in this state at my side. One of my past assistants and special friend, and I'd like for him to stand, Jeff, nickname Ace Scanlon, and his wife Joy are with us tonight. Jeff started coaching with me back at Plattsmouth the first time, coached with me back in the early 80s. I've been fortunate to have taught and coached in many communities, as you well know. I always believed God had a plan for me, and I was guided to teams I needed to be there to coach. Everywhere I've went, I've come away with greater knowledge and was richer for the experiences with those teams. This year I will be embarking on my 47th year as a head coach and 49th year overall. I wasn't an assistant coach till year 33 and 34. But I certainly look forward to this new challenge and the one I refer to as my last rodeo. In closing, I'd like to congratulate all the award winners this evening and wish you all the best of luck in the upcoming season. And once again, I want to thank the NCA for this incredible honor. I want to pass on one thought. I'm a baseball nut, played college baseball. And this past College World Series, I heard Coach Mike Martin from Florida State, who had coached for 40 years, 40 plus wins a year. And they asked him what he felt was most important things as a coach. Some of you might have heard the interview. But he said, be yourself, know yourself, and accept yourself. Thank you and good evening.
That wraps me up, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure to be your MC. Now, to close it up, here's the Executive Director, Darren Boyson.
Jerry Buck, if you would also join me up here. If Tony Fowler, our President-elect, and our President Donnie Miller would step forward. At this time, it's our time to honor our current President and thank him for his service and dedication to all of you as members and active coaches across the state. Coach Miller, you've been a faithful servant, a great pleasure to work with. So at this time, our President-elect, Tony Fowler, will present his award and a ring that he can wear at any time he wishes, proudly to be your servant and service to coaches across the state. Annually, this time of year, It's very hard for me to realize how blessed and to really put into words and convey to you how honored my wife and I are to serve you as your executive director. I firmly believe I have one of the best jobs in the whole world. We are blessed. I heard several times tonight the word mentoring, and I encourage you to learn more about what we are about to launch. Your board of directors challenged us this year to create an intentional program, and we will launch that next month as a mentoring program for young coaches across the state. And I've seen many, many examples of mentors that have crossed this stage this evening. I hope you will consider finding a young coach and looking at our program, because I think you can make a world of difference. What I don't want to see decades from now is that the numbers that we honor for those 40 or 45 or 50 or any of those longer term coaches, I don't want to see those dwindle. They need your help. They need your guidance and your expertise. With that in mind, I would like to ask all NCA past presidents to join us in front of the stage at this time. As they come up, I've asked Jerry Buck, past president as well, to read, if you want to direct your attention to the back cover of your program. This insert has now become our tradition of how we end our program. It is also the manner in which the National High School Athletic Coaches Association ends their Hall of Fame banquet annually at the national level. This tribute was written by a former player to Ed Colleran at Spalding Academy. Coach Colleran was a Hall of Famer here in the state of Nebraska and a Hall of Famer at the national level. But I think the words that he describes fit every one of you here tonight. Coach Buck, the mic is yours.
Thank you. If you'd like to follow along, I'd like to dedicate this to my high school football coach, Warren Mumsden. I am thousands of souls who have spanned 40+ years of time. I am the child who thought I couldn't make it, the one who wasn't big enough, tall enough, or fast enough. I am the one you encouraged, you disciplined, you worked with, teaching me the important lessons of life. I grew to be an All-American, All-State, All-Conference, and at your assistance, All-Academic. I was there for the state tournament, conference championships, numerous victories. You were there for the tough defeats. I learned your lessons, and now I am doctor, farmer, mother, father. I am the parent of the next generation. I teach your lessons so that on the field of life, my children may be touched by your hand, your life. I am the one who grew with you, fought for you, prayed for you, loved you. Now you live on in me. I am your player. You are my coach. Signed, all of us touched. Thank you for coming, and have a great end of the year.